We'd like to call to order the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners meeting tonight, and we'd like to call on Commissioner Turner to lead us in our opening prayer, and then Commissioner Robert Stevens will be leading our pledge. Thank you.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you again for the opportunity to represent Rutherford County, Lord, and we're thankful for that privilege. And we humbly ask, Lord, that you give us guidance tonight in the decisions that we make. We're thankful for those who are watching at home and those in attendance, Lord. I just ask that you bless those families and that you protect those, Lord, who are overseas right now, serving in our armed forces to protect us and give us our freedoms here at home. I ask this in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Schaefer? Here. Commissioner Black? Here. Commissioner Jordan? Commissioner P? Here. Commissioner Cook? Here. Commissioner Jernigan? Here. Commissioner Farley?
Here.
Commissioner Phillips? Commissioner Sandlin? Commissioner Turner? Here. Commissioner Allen? Here. Commissioner Stevens?
Here.
Commissioner Jordan? Here. Commissioner Baum? Here. Commissioner Coggin? Present. Commissioner Young? Commissioner Phillips? Present. Commissioner McAdoo? Here. Commissioner Ely? Here. Commissioner Gooch? Here. Commissioner Sereno? Here. 17 present.
Thank you. Okay, you have before you a copy of the minutes of the last meeting. Do we have a motion? Commissioner Jeff Phillips.
Mr. Chairman, I've reviewed those minutes. I found them in order and move for their approval.
All right. Second, Commissioner Jernigan. Did anyone have any corrections or additions they'd like to make? There being done, all of you in favor of that, then please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. That is unanimous. All right. We'll have first a resolution of sympathy for Dr. John Miller Key, and I believe Commissioner Rhonda Allen is going to present that resolution.
If there's anyone with Dr. Key's family that would like to come up, I'd appreciate that. And if the commissioners from Smyrna would join me, I'd appreciate that as well. Dr. Key was very well known in Smyrna for a very long time, and he was an important part of our community. So I'm happy to read this resolution on his behalf. Whereas it was with great sadness that the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners learned of the death of Dr. John Miller Key, a member of the Rutherford County Board of Health for 12 years and a friend of many. And whereas Dr. Key is survived by a daughter, Jennifer of Morrison, Tennessee, a son, Jeff, and his wife, Cindy, of Murfreesboro, grandsons Joshua and Jacob. Whereas Dr. Key graduated high school in 1947, enrolled in the Navy V-5 program, which provided 2 years at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, followed by Navy cadet pilot training, and received his wings as a naval aviator at Pensacola, Florida. Whereas he was assigned to a military air transport unit at Moffett Field, California, and proudly served his country. And whereas Dr. Key loved helping people and working with animals, and he received the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree from Auburn University in 1976 and established his first veterinary clinic in Smyrna, the Smyrna Animal Clinic. And whereas he was an active member of Spring House Worship and Art Center, an avid UT fan, and found great joy in being with his grandchildren. And whereas we know that his passing has caused great sadness to his family and friends. Now therefore be it resolved that the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners at its regular session on this 13th day of June 2013 does hereby extend sincere sympathy to the family of Dr. John Miller Key. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution of sympathy be forwarded to the family of Dr. Key by the clerk of this legislative body. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second from Commissioner Turner and others. All of you in favor of that, then please say aye. Aye. All right. Thank you very much, and thank you to all of the family members of Dr. Key and his support of our health department for 12 years or so, I believe, Dana. So he was an active participant in that role, and really enjoyed and appreciated working in that particular effort that he was called to help with. Okay, next we're going to call on Commissioner Ely to recognize a young lady. Emma McLaughlin has done some outstanding things of note that we want to recognize. So you may come forward with Ms. McLaughlin, with yourself and your parents, all, if you'd like to come up here. She's going to come by herself. All right, and Mr. Nunley is going to come with her as well, since he is our EMS director, and she's done some things really, really noteworthy for them.
I'm going to ask her to let you see an example of her beautiful work. If you'll pass it down the aisle, and then she can go at the end of the aisle at the end of the reading of the resolution and pick those up. Whereas we would like to take this opportunity to recognize 12-year-old Emma McLaughlin for donating to the Rutherford County Emergency Medical Service 75 knitted baby caps for newborns. And whereas the state requires each ambulance be stocked with 3 infant hats at all times, and Emma worked hard to meet that need. And whereas she will use this community project to earn her Silver Award in Girl Scouts. And whereas it took Emma 6 or 7 months to make these 75 hats, and she worked on them after school, on the weekends, or whenever she had free time. And whereas the yarn was donated to Emma by her mom and her great-grandmother, who also knit and first inspired Emma to try the craft. And whereas we commend this young lady for her thoughtfulness, talent, and willingness to give to others by her very generous donation to Rutherford County. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution of appreciation be forwarded to Emma McLaughlin by the clerk of this legislative body. Resolved this 13th day of June, 2013. And Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Commissioner Farley, second, and many others. All in favor, then, please say aye.
Aye.
Well, thank you very much, Emma. Hey, that's a great example of a young person that's starting at a very early age to really make a difference and really contribute to the needs of others. We have some resolutions of recognition for state championships, and we'll have some others even at our August meeting, but the first one we're going to pass on the first one because those people weren't able to be here, but we're going to recognize Commissioner P. For a resolution regarding Oakland High School's Brock Baker for track.
Fortunately, I wasn't able to get in touch with Brock. If you're out there in the audience and I've missed you, please come up here. But we actually did this last year, where he also won a state championship. But this is a resolution of recognition for Brock Baker for state track champion. Whereas Oakland High School senior Brock Baker recently won the state track championship in the 800, the 1600, and the 3200 classes. And whereas Brock became the first Rutherford County track and field athlete to win the 800-meter run, the 1600-meter run, and the 3200-meter run in the same day. Man's got good legs. Whereas Brock, who is a Oklahoma signee, won the 800 in 1 minute 54/36 of a second, the 1600 in 4 minutes 18/54 of a second, and the 3200s in 9 minutes and 199 of a second. Whereas this has been an exciting and successful season, and special commendation is due to Brock, his coach Al Evans, and Principal Bill Spurlock for their dedication and commitment, which made this championship possible, and for bringing this fine publicity to our community by their good sportsmanship and inspired team play. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that we extend this resolution of recognition to Brock Baker for winning the state track championship in the 800, 1600, and 3200 meter run, resolved this 13th day of June 2013. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Second by Commissioner Jordan. All of you in favor, then, please say aye. Aye. Quite an accomplishment of that young man, and we look forward to hearing from his accomplishments as he goes off to college. Next, we're going to call on Commissioner Jeff Jordan regarding our Riverdale Girls 800-meter relay team.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Coach Field, if you bring those four young ladies on up, I'd appreciate it, sir. Y'all need to watch closely. They're pretty quick. You might miss something. As they're coming up, and just get wherever you want to get, ladies, I can tell you that if you want to see a teacher and a coach that has made a difference for 30 years, I guess, at his school, he's standing right here. The resolution of recognition for the 2013 Riverdale Girls State Champion 800-meter relay team. They were undefeated in 2013, and they were District 7 AAA and sub-sectional champions, as well as sectional champions and state champions in spring fling held at the Dean Hayes MTSU track complex. And whereas Riverdale ran the 800-meter relay in 1 minute 42 3/10 seconds and beat Antioch by 1 1/3 seconds. It just really bothers me when Antioch loses at anything. Anyway, this was 4 seconds off the state record. And whereas, and they're probably going to laugh at me here, because they really tried to help me, but I'm hopeless. Talia Martin, who's a junior with a 3.51 GPA, ran the first 200 meters. Talia, why don't you raise your hand so these fine people know who you are. And the second 200 meters was run by Jaleel White with a GPA of 3.27, and the team's only senior, who is looking at a number of colleges, including Carson Newman. And whereas sophomore Deariana Parrish with a 3.10 GPA ran the third 200 meters. Have you raised your hand, Ms. Parrish? I hope you have. And Joy Frierson, who is a junior with a 3.89 GPA, took over the final 200 meters with a tiny lead and extended it for the victory. Joy was also on the 2011 team that was a state champion in the same event. Whereas Riverdale track team had an excellent season, finishing 7th overall out of 44 AAA squads in the state meet. The team is strong in work ethic in both the classroom, obviously by these GPAs that I just read to you, and on the track. They have worked hard and richly deserve credit for their victory. Whereas this has been an exciting and successful season, and special commendation is due to all team members, Coach Ricky Field and Principal Tom Nolan, for their dedication and commitment, which made this championship possible, and for bringing this fine publicity to our community by their good sportsmanship and inspired team play. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that we extend this resolution of recognition to the 2013 Riverdale Girls 800-meter relay team, Coach Ricky Field and Principal Tom Nolan, for their successful year. Mr. Mayor, so move.
All right.
Coach Field, I think, would like to say a word or two, and this terrific. Ricky?
Thank you, Commissioner Jordan, and thank you, Mayor Burgess and Deputy Mayor Davidson and all the commissioners for acknowledging these young ladies for their outstanding work this year. These young ladies put a lot of sweat equity in what they do in each and every day, and you can tell they dress up real good too on occasion. Most times you just see them in a uniform, but to their parents and all their friends that are here tonight, we truly, truly appreciate you recognize them for their great work this season. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, y'all got a little ahead of you then, Commissioner Jordan. We had a second slot. We didn't vote. All of you in favor of that resolution, please say aye. Aye. All right, thank you. They are to be commended for an outstanding job and you can achieve in both academics and sports at the same time. I think that's a wonderful example. Good job. Okay, Commissioner Rhonda Allen again will come forward and have a resolution of appreciation to the recognition to the Smyrna High School softball team.
Shepard, if you'd lead your team up here, I'd appreciate it. And if the Smyrna Commissioners would join me, I'd appreciate that as well. You will hear in my resolution that we, too, are smart and athletic in Smyrna. There are 9 All-American academic students on this team. Didn't say we were graceful. I just said we were smart and athletic. Not all of the team could be with us tonight. Some of them are continuing to play ball. This team only had 3 seniors on it, so I expect you may see some of these girls again next year. Whereas the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners should recognize those persons and organizations that consistently have a positive impact on the people and communities of Rutherford County. And whereas the students, coaches, and parent volunteers associated with the Smyrna High School softball team are all part of one such outstanding organization, which recently won the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association Class AAA State Championship game, earning Smyrna High School its first District 7 AAA title, first Region 4 AAA title, and first ever AAA State Championship softball title, giving the Lady Bulldogs their first appearance in the title game since 1981. And whereas a special commendation is due to all team members, along with head coach Luke Shepard and assistant coaches Sean Middleton, Greg Prince, Jennifer Martinez, head trainer Carrie Pearson, scorekeeper Kelly Mabry, for their dedication and commitment that gave Smyrna an historic season and brought excellent publicity to our community by their good sportsmanship and inspired team play. And whereas the Lady Bulldogs defeated Dickson County 6-3, finishing the season with the most wins in school history and with an exciting and impressive 40-10 season. Additional team accomplishments include placing first in the Middle Tennessee Softball Coaches Association Tournament, third in the Lincoln County Border Battle Tournament, and fourth in the Hendersonville Commando Classic, and being ranked as high as 58th in the nation by Max Preps. And whereas, in addition to the team advancing to the state championship, one of the top players is junior standout Mackenzie Prince, who had a season record of 37-6 pitching, who was named Daily News Journal Pitcher of the Year and recently named Gatorade Player of the Year, one of the highest athletic awards in the country. Prince finished the tournament with just 2 earned runs in 4 games and 31 innings pitched. She had 13 strikeouts against the Lady Cougars in Smyrna High's first defeat of Dickson County to advance her team to the championship game. This team boasts 9 academic All-American student athletes and at least 1 college-bound athlete, Caitlin Crumpler, a Trevecca signee. And whereas the 2013 team members are named herein, now therefore be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that this legislative body extends this resolution of recognition to the 2013 Smyrna High School softball team for its outstanding accomplishment of winning the 2013 Class AAA State Championship, and to Coach Luke Shepard and his assistant coaches Sean Middleton, Greg Prince, and Jennifer Martinez for their dedication and commitment to these students. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second. Commissioner Turner again. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Coach, you want to say anything?
I'd also like to add that Mackenzie Prince was just recently named this past week as the Tennessean Player of the Year for softball. And I'd like to thank everyone for this resolution and the opportunity to be up here and present these young ladies for their hard work. And we're just very humbled by the support of the community and this commission here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for that outstanding job, girls from the Smyrna High School softball team. Okay, we're now ready for our time for public comments, and we have 5 people that have signed up to speak tonight, so we'll call your name, you come forward and tell us who you are and what your address is, and We will remind each of the speakers that you have a 3-minute allotment on your time, and so we'll ask Kathleen Ferris to come forward.
Good evening. My name's Kathleen Ferris. I was here last month and addressed you on the fact that both the Old County landfill and Middle Point landfill are leaking in the Stones River. And I gave out a brochure that showed illustrations of that. Tonight I would like to address the issue of what I think the county should not do in response to this problem. I attended a recent meeting, it wasn't the last one, but the one before, of the Public Works Committee, where Mr. Mac Nolans made a statement that he had met with the officials of Republic and negotiated whether there are, tried to, not exactly negotiate, but to open the question of whether they would be interested in buying the 200 acres of land that the county owns and incorporate it into Middle Point. And I asked him after that meeting whether he had done this on his own initiative, and he said no, that Mayor Burgess had approved his going to talk to the people at Republic. I would like to point out why I think that if this is a plan in the making, it would be a very bad plan. In 1995, as most of you know, and I have a copy of it here, Rutherford County signed a contract with BFI agreeing to have the county's garbage delivered to Middle Point without our having to pay fees. In exchange, the county would be paid $1.20 per ton for out-of-county garbage that went to Middle Point, regardless of the nature of that waste, and the county would not meddle in the operation of Middle Point. It was shortly after this contract was signed that we started getting the radioactive waste into Middle Point. This contract with Republic is in effect, according to the words of it, for as long as Middle Point operates. If the county should sell the remaining land to Middle Point, presumably the terms of this contract would apply to that land as well. And that would mean that we, the people of Rutherford County, would have no say about what happens to the Stones River as a result of whatever happens at the landfills. Now, Mr. Nolan told me that Republic has the resources and the know-how to make the needed changes to the old landfill. I would argue, one, that if Republic were really doing such a great job, Middle Point would not also be leaking. And two, that if Republic did nothing, if we sold that land and they did nothing to correct the problems, we'd have no recourse. It would be private property. So I urge you, if this is indeed something that anybody here is thinking about, that you not allow this plan to be implemented.
Okay. Thank you. This is Pat Sanders.
My name is Pat Sanders, and my commissioner is Gary Farley. I've been living here 50 years, I said last time I came, but I don't know how many of you were living here in 71 or 72 when they started looking at a landfill. If you were here then, you might remember that Rutherford County had 150 burning dumps, burning all the time. How would you like to go back there and have 150 burning dumps? The largest one was where Old Fort Park is right now, and every Saturday everybody would drive to that place and dump their household garbage, etc. By the way, household garbage, everybody I know in Nashville, I tell them, if you put a napkin in your garbage, we get it. down here in Rutherford County. We get all of Nashville Metro's garbage. This is today's paper, and I hope today's Daily News Journal, and I hope you all see it, because this dam, Walter Hill Dam, with the Stones River, everyone likes to go out there that likes to go out there. I don't want to go out there swimming, but I think even Sam Stockard said he goes fishing there, the Daily News Journal senior editor. But, I mean, they love it. Recreation, wildlife, serenity. My husband was assigned the duty, and I told you all that last time, with Bill Wilson, the road commissioner, to go to Alabama to take pictures and bring back information on a sanitary landfill, which had a liner. Came back with the idea. He was given a court order, and so was Commissioner Bill Wilson, to find a spot in Rutherford County for a landfill, 1971. And they needed deep soil, so Epps Matthews was willing to lease his land, and then others did too. Morgan Green eventually, even though he fussed about it before he leased his also. But the whole thing is, what's happened, the liner was not put in, and there is possible leaking, and we've been looking at what's going into the river and into the fish and into these people who are swimming there. So I want to just keep reminding you that that is a very valuable thing, our Stones River. It's the only landfill in Tennessee that's on a river. But if the county doesn't solve this problem, it goes on to the next generation. And it's your responsibility, we feel, to repair the damage to the river and to the landfill. We are aware that the current mayor and all of you commissioners have inherited this problem from your predecessors. If the landfills had not been built on topography like, maybe it wouldn't be leaking. Is that a little buzz for time? Okay. Anyway, think about the health of citizens and hope you don't sell the landfill.
Next is Keith Ray.
Thank you, Mayor Burgess. You pronounced my name correctly. Mayor Burgess, County Commissioner Matthew Young, unfortunately, he's my commissioner. He's not here tonight to hear this, and the rest of the commission. On the eve of a proposed tax increase to cover an expected shortfall, concerned residents of Rutherford County have assembled multiple issue specialist teams to investigate and propose alternatives to a tax increase. We stand united in support of Charlie Baum's proposed budgetary amendments, which make necessary cuts in some unnecessary general fund expenditures. Our team is composed of former Budget Committee chairmen, small business owners, operators, property owners, consistent voters, and concerned geographically distributed residents. Our team has reviewed the budget, the budgetary process, the County Commission process of budgetary preparation, the mishandling of unspent revenue, and the general fund. We have concluded the following. A tax increase is not at all necessary. The general fund line item in the budget consists of many budgetary target items buried within. The process of using cash equivalents for long-term investments in private banking, low return, money market accounts, and the like is tantamount to hiding a valuable resource from the budgetary process. County and state elected officials are aware of all the above information and yet still propose a tax increase. We ask elected officials to work within their jurisdictions to support a more transparent budgetary process by adopting rules and state laws, in addition to curbing the current wallet siphoning behavior that promotes the mishandling and waste. We support long-sighted cures made by Dr. Donald Todd, who is to follow me, and the popular Charles Baum to alleviate our team's core ailments. Thank you all. I have additional copies of this too that I would like submitted to the record. Or Sergeant at Arms. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Angela Cotter.
Good evening. My name is Angela Cotter, and I'm from Las Casas, Tennessee. I stand here tonight and discuss that you, our elected officials, would allow our landfill to continue to not properly be taken care of. You are each now responsible for the contamination of our beautiful Stones River and all the environment surrounding this area. Those on the Public Works Committee also allowed another elected official to sit in front of you and dictate that you would not and could not ask questions of the landfill manager. Each of you are elected to be responsible to this county and its citizens. The fact that you will not demand to question the department head on his conduct or conditions is absolutely absurd. Not only has the county allowed water sampling wells to get into the shape of disrepair, you have no urgency on how bad the landfill and its conditions have gotten. The fact that you allow the mayor to bully you into submission on the TOSHA violations showing how bad it's gotten. The very simple issue is how is 9 major violations no big deal? It seems that each of you are just putting the public safety as on the back burner and putting it as an unimportant event. TDEC asked that the overflow runoff ponds to be cleaned and even stated at the Public Works meeting that they attended that this needed to be done. As of earlier this week, it has not been done. I understand now that there is an evaluation being conducted to see if the pond is even large enough. How long till all this is completed? It's very simple. Clean the ponds out. Today when it rains, if it rains, it's going to overflow like it has in the past and more contamination. You as a collective need to get on the ball, clean up our landfill, and avert a potential disaster. Let's do it today. Don't keep pushing it off so the next group of elected officials are going to have to deal with it. Thank you.
Mr. Donald Todd.
My name is Donald Todd, and I live at 633 Buck Lane. Early withdrawal of bank investments would prevent tax increase. The next step for strengthening the state's and the county's financial independence is to persuade Tennessee legislators to adopt supportive legislation. State Senator Stacey Campfield apparently believes that a law should be adopted soon to make certain that an adequate transfer of surplus revenue should be made to the annual budget or to the exact fund in the budget showing a shortfall if, in doing so, this would prevent a raise in taxes. In talking to me recently, Senator Campfield apparently believes that the current laws do not adequately provide necessary legal support for saving our financial independence. The following cash balances of unspent surplus revenue have been recorded in 4 major county funds as recently as June 30th, 2012. Senator Stacey Campfield has stated that there is no worthwhile law which makes certain that an adequate sum of surplus revenue can be transferred to the next year's budget, and especially over to the same fund to which fund the appropriation was originally made. The 4 major funds, Debt Service Fund, General Purpose School Fund, Highway Fund, and General Fund, all having a total balance of $105 million. With this surplus revenue balance and following constitutional law, Rutherford County should be able to eliminate the $27 million shortfall given as the reason for requiring a 4% tax increase for 2013-2014. The new legislation cannot be adopted until next year. At the present time, we have $39 million in CD investments and money market savings in the banks, but they do not mature until after the new budget is approved next January 28. If they were to mature before the new budget is approved, we could easily eliminate the $27 million shortfall, and thereby the county could avoid a tax increase for next year. But under present circumstances, and depending upon what the early withdrawal penalties are, it may still be a sound move to withdraw money now to avoid a tax increase. If this is not possible, I would like to know why. Thank you.
Okay, that's the completion of our public comments. Now we're ready to take up the agenda item of elections and confirmations. Commissioner Gooch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, steering has several items for your consideration this evening. On your desk, you will find a copy of notary candidates, and I move for their election, Mr. Chair.
Second, Commissioner Jernigan. Any questions? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much.
Second, we need to announce 2 vacancies on Community Care Board. We need to announce a vacancy on the Highland Rim Regional Library Board, and we need to fill a veterinarian vacancy on the Board of Health, and steering nominates Dr. Charles Kennard, and I so move, Mr. Chair.
Second from Commissioner Sereno. Any questions or discussions on that? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
And finally, we need to fill 2 vacancies on the Linebaugh Library Board. Steering nominates Mrs. Marilyn Castelli and Mrs. Lisa Trail. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Second by Commissioner Jordan and Sandlin. All in favor then, please say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Thank you very much. Thank you, Commissioner Gooch. There is no unfinished business, so we're now ready to start the reports by our standing committees. There is the monthly report from the Purchasing Committee. Do we have a motion on that particular committee? Ms. Cook, the motion, a second from Commissioner Jernigan. All right, any questions on that? All in favor then, please say aye. Aye. All right, any opposed? Thank you. That's carried unanimous. Now, Commissioner Ely, we're ready for a multitude of year-end amendments and adjustments.
Item L2A, General Fund Budget Amendments. Be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the general fund be amended as follows. And first, we will deal with the 2012-2013 revenue adjustments. And on your iPad, they will be in a separate file. And I will tell you, we will be doing revenue adjustments for all of the departments this evening. According to the schedule attached here to is Exhibit 1 and incorporated herein by reference as if set forth herein at length verbatim for the general fund. We have increases in revenue of $5,865,552. We have decreases in revenue of $727,159. With a total 2012-2013 revenue of $77,897,015. And after allocating the restricted and committed revenue, there was a net increase to unassigned fund balance of $1,827,849. Now to the general fund budget amendments, planning and engineering. From unassigned fund balance, $3,935, to county official administrative, $3,650, and related benefits. This is to pay accumulated leave for an employee who is retiring. Stormwater management, from unassigned fund balance, $7,110, to an assistant, $5,900, and the related benefits. This is for an employee who is leaving our employment. Transfer to other funds, from restricted for capital projects, $115,000, to transfer to other funds, $115,000, to complete roads at Rachel's Place. From restricted for capital projects, $60,000, to transfer to other funds, $60,000, to complete roads at Poplar Cove. Drug court, from unassigned fund balance, $4,900, to other supplies and materials, drug screens, $3,600, and communications, $1,300. Unemployment compensation, from employee benefits, unemployment compensation, $17,747, and this is unemployment compensation to the departments where the expense actually occurred. For election unemployment compensation, $463, county buildings, $1,885. The county clerk, $7,042. Correctional Work Center, $4,950. Juvenile detention, $3,407. Miscellaneous from unassigned fund balance, $100,000. This is a reserve established by the county's third-party administrator for property casualty claims. To judgments, $100,000. County attorney, unassigned fund balance, $10,000. To legal services, $10,000. Sheriff's Department and Jail, increased revenue for sale and supplies of materials, $82. Sale of recycled materials, $1,172. Contributions and gifts, $1,120. Increased expenditures, other supplies and materials, $2,374. Increased revenue from insurance recovery, $6,285. To motor vehicles, $6,285. Sheriff's Department communications equipment, $5,400. Going to jail maintenance and repair of buildings, $5,400. Increased revenue from miscellaneous refunds, $78,000, and this is part of Dr. Rudd's account. Increased expenditures, jail food supplies, $53,000. Jail maintenance and repair of buildings, $25,000. From Sheriff's Department overtime pay, $5,000, and the related benefits, to jail overtime pay, $5,000, and the related benefits. Resolved this 13th day of June, 2013. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Second from Commissioner Jernigan. Any questions or discussion? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
18 yes, 1 no. Motion passes.
Item L2B, Special Purpose Fund Budget Amendment. Be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the Special Purpose DEA Fund be amended as follows. The 2012-2013 revenue adjustments, increased revenue investment income, $133, and increase for restricted for public safety, $133. Asset forfeiture funds, increased revenue, $9,713, increased expenditures for confidential enforcement, $9,713. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Second, Commissioner Sandin. Any questions? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
Item L2C, Drug Control Fund Budget Amendment. We have the 2012-2013 revenue adjustments and trustees commission. Decreased revenue, circuit court drug control fines, $10,200. Increased revenue, general sessions drug court fines, $60,000. Proceeds from confiscated property, $95,000. Investment income, $170. Sale of equipment, $24,852. Increased expenditure, trustees commission, $1,745. And increase to restricted for public safety, $168,077. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
And a second from Commissioner Farley. All right. Any questions or discussion? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
L2D, Ambulance Service Fund Budget Amendments. Be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the Ambulance Service Fund be amended as follows. The 2012-2013 revenue adjustments and trustees commission. An increase to revenue of $592,437. Decreases to revenue of $57,000 $670, resulting in total revenues of $12,196,461, and increasing the trustees' commission account by $5,500, with a net increase to assign for public health and welfare, $529,267. Emergency medical service, increased revenue from contributions, $1,500. Increased expenditures for in-service training, $1,500. Increased revenue for patient charges, $30,000. Increased expenditures, other contracted services, $30,000. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Second, Commissioner Schaefer. Any questions? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change a vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
Item L2E, Solid Waste Sanitation Fund Budget Amendments, the 2012-2013 Revenue Adjustments and Trustees Commission, decreased revenue, surcharge host agency, $48,000, sale of recycled materials, $30,000, and solid waste grants, $752. Increased revenues, the local option sales tax, $586,000, tipping fees, $139,000. Increased expenditures, the trustees commission, $6,500, with an increase assigned for public health and welfare, $639,748. Unemployment compensation, employee benefits, unemployment compensation, $318 to convenience centers, unemployment compensation, $318. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Second from Commissioner Coggin. Any questions on that? Okay. Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
Item 2F, Highway Fund Budget Amendments, the 2012-2013 Revenue Adjustments. We have a decrease in revenue of $52,200. We have an increase in revenue of $1,220,251, with an increase assigned for Highway and Public Works, $1,168,051. Employee benefits administration, from the employee benefits workers' compensation, $45,158, to administration liability insurance, $45,158. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Second from Commissioner Turner. Any questions on this? All right, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
19 yes, motion passes.
Item L2G, General Purpose School Fund Budget Amendments. Be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the General Purpose School Fund be amended as follows. Ladies and gentlemen of the Commission, we have two entries here, but what we were actually doing is purchasing two buses, a large activity bus for Stewart's Creek High School and a small activity bus. Regular education program, elementary, secondary, from unassigned fund balance, $96,571, to other charges, $96,571. Regular education, elementary, secondary, other capital outlays and transfers to other funds, from instructional supplies and materials, $45,000, other capital outlay, $40,000, to transfers to other funds, $85,000. To provide a transfer to Fund 189, Other Capital Projects Fund, for the Stewart's Creek High School, with $75,000 to be appropriated for a small activity bus and $10,000 to be appropriated for equipment. Resolved this 13th day of June, 2013. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Second, Commissioner Jordan. Any questions or discussion? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
Item L2H, a resolution authorizing the 2013-14 Central Cafeteria Fund petty cash, or the cash on hand. Whereas it is being proposed to increase the petty cash on hand, in the Central Cafeteria Fund from $10,650 to $11,850 for the purpose of providing a change account in the amount of $1,200 for the Stewart's Creek High School cafeteria. Therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the petty cash amount for the Central Cafeteria Fund be increased from $10,650 to $11,850 for the 2013-14 school year. A copy of the same being attached hereto as Exhibit 1 and incorporated herein by reference as is set forth herein at length verbatim. Resolved this 13th day of June, 2013. I move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second, Commissioner Sandling. Any discussion? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
Item L2I, General Debt Service Fund Budget Amendments. Be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the General Debt Service Fund be amended as follows. The 2012-13 Revenue Adjustments and Trustees Commission. We have a decrease in revenue of $57,400. We have an increase in revenue of $1,842,150, with Trustees Commission $14,040, and a net increase assigned for debt service of $1,770,710. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
And a second from Commissioner Sereno. Any questions on that? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
Item L2J, a resolution authorizing trustee to award banking services to Bank of America. Whereas the Rutherford County trustee issued requests for proposals for Rutherford County's banking services and is proposing to award the banking services to Bank of America for a 3-year contract with 2 one-year extensions, which can be terminated by either party with a 60-day notice. Therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the trustee of Rutherford County, Tennessee, be and is here authorized to enter into an agreement with Bank of America according to the terms and conditions set forth in the deposit account and Treasury Management Services document, a copy of the same being attached hereto as Exhibit 1 and incorporated herein by reference as if set forth herein at length verbatim. Additionally, that the county mayor and all other appropriate officials of Rutherford County, Tennessee, be and are hereby authorized to execute all required documents with Bank of America for Rutherford County's banking services to be effective on or before September 1, 2013. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Second from Commissioner Jernigan. Any discussion? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
Item L2K, a resolution authorizing acceptance of grant award from Home Fire Sprinkler Coalition and a related budget amendment. Ladies and gentlemen of the Commission, your agenda says American Sprinkler Association, but this resolution is correct. It should say Home Fire Sprinkler Coalition. Whereas Rutherford County has been notified of a $1,000 burn stipend from the Home Fire Sprinkler Coalition through the 2011 Fire Prevention and Safety Grant, awarded by the Grant Programs Directorate of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. And whereas the stipend will be used to provide funding to pay the cost of supplies to build, furnish, and conduct a fire and sprinkler burn demonstration. Therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the county mayor and all other appropriate officials of Rutherford County be and are hereby authorized to execute all required documents to accept the $1,000 burn stipend from the Home Fire Sprinkler Coalition, and additionally, that the general fund be amended as follows to record the stipend. Fire and rescue, increased revenue from donations, $1,000, increased expenditures, maintenance and repair of buildings, $1,000. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Second, Commissioner Farley. Any questions? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
Item K2L, a resolution authorizing an interlocal agreement with the City of Murfreesboro for the 2013 Burn Justice Assistance Grant Program Award. Whereas the City of Murfreesboro and Rutherford County have been informed by the Department of Justice of their eligibility to receive a joint award of $61,643 from a federal grant program called the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant, with the City of Murfreesboro to receive $30,822 and Rutherford County to receive $30,821. And whereas to receive the award, the program requires that the application be filed jointly between the county and the city, and an interlocal agreement be executed between the two entities, agreeing upon the amount of funds each is to receive, and which agency will file the application on behalf of both entities. And whereas it has been proposed that the City of Murfreesboro be designated as the fiscal agent to file the application on behalf of both entities, request the drawdown of funds, and pass the agreed-upon portion of the funds on to Rutherford County. Now therefore be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the county mayor and all other appropriate officials be and are hereby authorized to enter into the interlocal agreement with the City of Murfreesboro, a copy of the same being attached hereto as Exhibit 1 and incorporated herein by reference as if set forth herein at length verbatim, designating the City of Murfreesboro as the fiscal agent to apply for the 2013 Burn Justice Assistance Grant on behalf of Rutherford County, with the share being $30,822 applied to the City of Murfreesboro, and Rutherford County to receive the sum of $30,821. Additionally, that the county mayor also be authorized to accept the grant subject to it being awarded. Resolved this 13th day of June 2013. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Commissioner P. Any questions? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
Item L2M, a resolution authorizing a grant application to the Tennessee Division of Elections. Whereas the Election Commission has been made aware of a grant that is available from the State of Tennessee Division of Elections to receive a new state computer and to acquire, upgrade new voting equipment. And whereas the election registrar desires to apply for the said grant, which requires no local matching funds. Therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the county mayor and other appropriate officials of Rutherford County, Tennessee, be and are hereby authorized to submit a grant application to the State of Tennessee Division of Elections, and additionally, that the county mayor be authorized to accept said grant subject to it being awarded. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Second, Commissioner Phillips. Any questions on that? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
Item L2N, a resolution authorizing grant contracts with the Tennessee Department of Children's Services for community intervention services and custody prevention services. Whereas Rutherford County desires to accept a grant contract from the Tennessee Department of Children's Services for the provision of community intervention services in the amount of $46,448, which provides pass-through funding for the Genesis Teen Tracks program. And whereas Rutherford County also desires to accept a grant contract from the Tennessee Department of Children's Services for the provision of custody prevention services in the amount of $417,696, which provides pass-through funding to the Genesis Teen Learning Program. Therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the county mayor and any other appropriate officials of Rutherford County be and are hereby authorized to execute the grant contracts with the State of Tennessee Department of Children's Services, copies of the same being attached hereto as Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2, and incorporated herein by reference as if set forth herein at length verbatim, for the provision of community intervention services in the amount of $46,448, and for the provision of custody prevention services in the amount of $417,696, to provide pass-through funding to the Genesis Learning Center for the period beginning July 1, 2013, ending June 30, 2014. Resolved this 13th day of June, 2013. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Second, Commissioner Sandlin. Any questions on that? Please cast your votes.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the votes.
19 yes, motion passes.
Thank you, Commissioner Ely, for an outstanding job again. Okay, Health and Education Committee, there is no report. Property Management Committee, there is one resolution. Commissioner McAdoo.
Whereas it is in the best interest of the citizens of Rutherford County that the leasing of real property on Hudson Road be pursued to enhance the communication system of the public safety agencies of the county. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners. 1, the county attorney is directed to determine if the prior lease on the 8.2 acres owned by Elam and Mary Carlton on Hudson Road are in default, and that proper notice of default and cancellation has been made. 2, that a lease be developed which is acceptable to the owners of as leaseors and Rutherford County as leasee for a lease of 8.2 acres on Hudson Road owned by Elam and Mary Carlton, if it is determined that prior leases are in default and that proper notice of default and cancellation has been made. 3A, the initial lease term to be 25 years with a payment of $500 per year with an option to cancel at any time. B, the lease shall also provide for a second lease period of 25 years at the option of Rutherford County with a payment of $500 per year with an option to cancel at any time. C, Rutherford County will assume real property taxes and pay delinquent real property taxes in the appropriate amount of $7,371.36. D, Rutherford County will remove the existing communications equipment and install proper FAA-approved lighting, estimated at $25,000. E, Rutherford County will install the appropriate communications equipment to support all the required public safety agencies. F, at the end of the said lease, Rutherford County will be responsible for the cost of and removal of communications tower and return the property to the owners. 4, the appropriate officials for and on behalf of Rutherford County be and hereby are authorized to execute for and on behalf of Rutherford County said lease agreement with Elam and Mary Carlton when prepared by the county office. Resolved this 13th day of June, 2013, and I so move.
Second from Commissioner Phillips. Any questions? All of you in favor of this, then please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Thank you very much. Now, Commissioner Tiffany Phillips, Public Works and Planning Committee.
Two announcements really quickly. First of all, we have the open house on Saturday at the landfill. Mr. Nolan will be on hand. Excuse me, I've had a cold. He will be on hand if you would like to go by to see a quick tour from 8 to 12, but they do close at 12 o'clock, so if you'd like to get the tour, please be there probably by 11 o'clock, okay, on Saturday. The second one is there is a letter that was uploaded to your iPad under Public Works Committee. And this letter is from TDEC. There's also some pictures that Dr. Marion Wells obtained from a pilot that took some pictures over the Stones River. And the letter addresses the pictures as well as the report that was given to us last month or the month before, addressing the landfill and the water quality issues. So, and really quickly, in the letter, they did go out and do a actual study of the river, and so you might want to take a look at that and see what is in the information. And there should be I think there's a hard copy in everybody's mailbox. Okay. All right. Whereas pursuant of the private act authorizing the Rutherford County Highway Commission and superintendent to work on public drainage easements and provide for the maintenance of public drainage easements requires the county legislative body establish an official list of recognized public drainage easements. The attached Exhibit 1 are the easements recommended by the Planning Department. And whereas the Public Works and Planning Committee has approved the list of public drainage easements as submitted by the Planning Department, now therefore be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the County Commission approves as additional public drainage easements the attached list, Exhibit 1, as submitted by the Planning Department in accordance with Tennessee Code Annotated 54-903 and 54-904. These public drainage easements, in addition to those previously approved, shall be the only public drainage easements which shall be worked upon by the Rutherford County Highway Department. Resolved this 13th day of June, 2013. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second from Commissioner Phillips. Any questions on this? And if not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Commissioner Jeff Phillips, Mrs. Phillips wants to make just a brief report on our subdivision regulations that are being worked on.
Thank you, Tiffany and Mayor Burgess. As you all know, the Planning Commission the last few years worked diligently to develop and implement a comprehensive plan, and that was accomplished and was put into effect the first of this year. The Planning Commission has been working for the last 6 months on updating our subdivision regulations. That is nearing a completion, and there'll be a draft copy of those new regulations on your desk at our June 28th meeting for your review. And it'll also be highlighted with some of the major changes proposed for those subdivision regulations. Tentatively, the Planning Commission has scheduled for its August 12th meeting, that's a Monday meeting at 6 p.m. here in this courthouse, a public hearing on those new subdivision regulations. So we're about to bring that to a close, and hopefully we'll be ready to vote on that sometime in early fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Phillips. Okay, Steering and Legislative and Governmental Committee, there's no report from that committee. Is there any other business to come before this body tonight? There being no other business, it's being suggested this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.